fucking hell! Right. Basically, that overran for 56 minutes. Oh dear. Oh bother. Right, continue. That's Tilly just pitch shifted. You can't fool me, game. So if you do championship on all of the levels, you've basically won the game. But, I'm going to do Time Attack, and I'm going to do Lums, and I'm going to do Popolopoi, even though you're not really going to unlock anything by doing those, but fuck it. That's one thing that's kind of interesting. The analog comes on after the game starts. Oh, she also has Dark Glow Box's theme, which is really unfitting. She's like meant to be Glowbox's wife, I think. Although Glowbox's wife is called Uglette in Rayman 2, I'll have you know. Although this could be a different universe, like one of my friends suggested. Oh, you twat. Okay, so she has a roll animation, but Glowbox himself doesn't. Oh, she orgasms when she wins, so that's good. You have won the Dark Sewer level in Time Attack mode. You have unlocked Lums mode. Okay. I wonder if there are extra stages in this, like in Rayman M. I didn't check. There could be, like Future and Born to Slide and shit. No, there isn't. So apparently Derek Savage went off the deep end again last year, which I didn't notice. Which I'm not going to say I'm surprised, but I am kind of surprised it didn't happen sooner, if that makes sense. I'm not surprised that it happened, but I am surprised that, well, it took 5 years for him to go up completely off the deep end again. I don't know, I would have thought that personally Derek Savage was very likely to go off the deep end a week after he last went off the deep end. Apparently, Daddy Derek has falling out with the guy who plays Cool Cat, like, in the suit and does the voice. So now Daddy Derek does all of the fucking... the voiceover for the for Cool Cat, and it sounds like properly awful because, well, the other guy was a real actor and Daddy Derek just isn't. So that's funny. I don't know what they fell out over. From what I understand, the lady who played Mama Cat, she was shit canned from Cool Cat because apparently she let the Cool Cat guy in the suit shower at her house, and he thought, and Daddy Derek got in there. I don't know how any of this happened. It sounds like a sitcom scenario, but this is straight from the mouth of, you know, the dude who played Cool Cat. And he reckons that basically they got shit canned because Daddy Derek thought something was going on between them. Why that would matter, I don't know. But yeah, Mama Cat and Cool Cat was supposedly having an affair according to Daddy Derek's interpretation of events, when in reality Mama Cat just let Cool Cat use her shower. And Daddy Derek flipped his shit because I think he wanted Mama Cat for himself, or maybe he wanted Cool Cat for himself. I don't know. I thought what we had was special, Mama Cat. But yeah, apparently the idea of those two getting together on set was too much of a unbearable nightmare for Daddy Derek, so she got shit canned and was replaced by Cynthia Rothrock, which I personally thought her being replaced by Cynthia Rothrock was just like a personal decision of Daddy Derek's, because Cynthia Rothrock's a bit more famous, kind of like a low-scale version of Sonya Blade being replaced by what's her name? You know, that lady from WWE and UFC and all that shit. Ronda Rousey, I think her name is. Yeah, Sonya Blade's voiced by her in MK11. I thought it was like that, but no. Apparently, she got shit canned because of some weird personal thing. You know, if somebody writes a book about the Cool Cat filmmaking thing, someone who's like the Whitney Moore of the show, I'd buy it. Whitney Moore in relation to Birdemic, because Whitney Moore is just really... Is she called Whitney Moore? I'm pretty sure she is. Sorry, my head's gone to shit today, but I'm pretty sure she's called Whitney Moore. Whitney Moore is the wind beneath my wings. She had nothing but contempt for Birdemic, but she really cared about it right up until it came out. And then after it came out and she saw what it was, she just had nothing but contempt for it. And then when Birdemic 2 came out, she did it, but reluctantly, and despised it. Like, you can see in the movie that she hates the movie as it happens, which I personally find really funny. But yeah, if someone like her, who was on set, who despised Cool Cat, would write a book about Cool Cat's production, I'd fucking buy that shit. I'd even properly read it. Kind of like Ghost Hunting 2.0. I'm amazed Chris Bores hasn't flagged anything I've ever made for copyright, by the way. A lot of my friends who have, like, unlinked channels to mine have made content on Chris Bores, and they got theirs flagged, and they got a fraction of the reviews that I got. Same with Ghost Hunting 2.0. The thing's a mess. and it makes me laugh every time I read it. But yeah, I'm surprised Chris didn't flag me for any of that. As far as I'm aware or concerned, Chris is very, very protective of his intellectual property, even if his intellectual property just isn't at risk. Like, you know, you'd think that someone who had a career in reviews would know a thing or two about fair use, especially being a veteran of like 10 years. But, no. No, he's still a clueless fucking spud. Which I personally find very funny. I don't know if I've ever said this before in a video. It feels like I've said it before. Or if I even said it in my, what do you call it video? My ghost hunting video. But Chris Bors and I had a bit of an altercation at one point that was really funny. Basically what happened was Chris Bors was asking why nobody at Channel Awesome liked him. So I said, well, it's because you made that fucking Facebook post saying that their friend was going to go to hell for committing suicide. And Chris was like, I didn't say he was going to go to hell. What do you mean? He's playing dumb as to what I was talking about. So I posted the fucking status. And he was like, yeah, I didn't say he was going to hell. I just said they wouldn't look kindly on him on the other side. What do you think that fucking means, Chris, to anyone who's not you? Do you think I assume that there's a naughty step in the afterlife? where you go for 5 minutes if you commit suicide? Go blow yourself. So Chris basically has like this massive semantics argument with me. I didn't say they were going to hell. I just said the afterlife wouldn't look too kindly on them. That's the same fucking thing. No, it's not. It is. No, it's not. It's a different thing. So anyway, because I was sick of this fucking semantics argument, I said, just to move on, and just ask the more important question of, do you not think that opening your fucking cake socket was a bad idea, and that you should probably apologise for hurting people's fucking feelings through being a fucking clueless idiot? Chris, basically, I said to Chris, basically I said, okay, I'll take back what I said about you saying they're going to hell. Maybe I was a bit overzealous. Maybe I, you know, read too much into that. I didn't believe that, but I was just going to say it to stroke his ego and get a better answer out of him. To which point, Chris said facepalm in brackets, which, it was a legitimate good point. I don't know why he dismissed it with a facepalm, but okay. And then he proceeded to say... By the way, does this... Oh, yeah, it does. Okay. He proceeded to say the facepalm thing in the brackets. And after that, I said, is that all you've got to say? I mean, and then I explained my point further. But Chris didn't respond after that. And I found that to be a little weird. Or did he? I can't actually remember if Chris responded. But regardless of whether he did or not, I quickly found that whilst I was trying to diminish like more of my point, tried to make it a lot more clearer what I was saying to him, which I normally wouldn't feel it necessary to do, but Chris Bors, I'm pretty sure he eats paste at the age of 40, whatever he is. Or 30 or whatever. I think he's in his 40s. I'm going to say he's in his 40s. I think that Chris still eats paste. So I explained to him what exactly I felt he did wrong, and what I personally think he should say or do to address it. And he basically, at that point, halfway through my attempts at reasoning with him, he blocked me. And then deleted anything I wrote before he blocked me after the facepalm, making it look like the conversation ended with me admitting that I got it wrong, which I didn't, even if you look at it the way he wanted it to look. No, that isn't close to what happened, but okay, Chrissy boy. Chris made it look like I'd admitted that I was wrong, and then gave up after he put facepalm in because I was so humiliated I ran away. He blocked me as well, so that he could control the narrative. A fucking fully grown man having to block someone. Potentially, I don't know how old he is, but I'm possibly even half his age. He has to block someone half his age, deletes a load of their comments, to make it look like he won an argument that he couldn't win. This man is a professional. And seriously, Chris, you gave me more that day than literally anyone could have told me I could have gotten out of that. That was the funniest shit I've ever encountered, dealing with someone of your stature. Fucking idiot. Chris is apparently retired, but he's also not retired, but he has retired. I don't know what's up with Chris Bores at the moment. I don't really even care. He did something really shitty recently, but I can't remember what it was. Maybe I'll have a read of it. A lot of the problem is with that is, I was going to say for the next video, but there isn't going to be a next video. Because by the time I've finished with all these, I've finished the game, and I'm not going to be doing any more Rayman M. Unless I do the traditional PS2 version from the European one. That might not be the worst idea ever. I don't know. It would be the same as my Rayman Arena video, admittedly, but I don't know, maybe it would have some value. Probably not, though, to be honest, because it's basically just the same shit. No shit. By the way, I don't know what purpose Lums solve in Lums mode, because you don't even have to collect all of them, as far as I can tell. I'll look it up on the wiki and add it in text. I can also add that Chris Balls thing in text, that would be good. Maybe even post my screenshots if I still have them. Well, I still have them, but not on my well, I might not have them on this computer, because this computer is, it's not new, but it's newer than some of, you know, the screenshots that I have from the olden days. Oh shit, I was supposed to jump on those. I know what I can do for that, it's okay. But yeah, Chris Bores is a fucking loon. He's one of those people that I've wish I could have had one or two more dealings with, but at the same time, that night we had together, I want that to be special forever. Fucking Chris Bores, what an idiot. Everyone thinks he's a fucking joke, but he still has the clitting nerve to act like he's anything else. Oh, fuck you. Oh, that was the thing that Chris Bores did. So basically, he's recently claimed to have made up with James Rolfe, which I personally find really funny. But claims that cool now, which I don't know, they might be. They might have hashed it out over some emails or something. But what's really funny to me is the reasoning he's given. Is that because James Rolfe did an acting role in one of his projects, him and James are cool. Mate, just because James did an acting role in a project of yours, I don't think... Like, unlike, again, that's the consensus that most people who analyse Chris have come up with. And it's more... I'm not saying it's a certainty. But I wouldn't take too much into that if I were Chris, because... I mean, James could have done it for the money, could have done it as a joke. Like, you know, there's a lot. Anyway, Chris has managed to get James Rolfe in one of his things, which is the first... well, it's not really an AVGN, IGN, sorry. Yeah, IGN. Irate Gamer crossover. Because, well, it was on his Puppet Steve channel. But again, that also makes people question if James even knew who he was working with. Because Puppet Steve is not, like, a Chris-branded channel. At least not in a lot of instances. So, again, it does raise the rather interesting question of, did James know what he was getting into with that one? Did he know that he would be working with the Irate Gamer? Not that he needs to. It's not like he was conned into doing something that's against his principles or anything. But I'm curious if James knew about Chris's involvement with that project, or if James knew, like, what Puppet Steve was, or any of that. I mean, he could have. I'm not saying he didn't, but it would be interesting to know if Chris is just making shit up, or if those two actually reconciled. It's kind of interesting, though, that the two of them haven't, like, done anything of weight or value together, which makes me think even more that they're, you know, that Chris basically tricked James. But I'll give Chris the benefit of the doubt and say that I think James knew what he was getting himself into, but there is that doubt there. That I don't think that James did. I will trust that Chris did begrudgingly, but I don't believe he did, if that makes sense. I think the possibility is there, but as far as the certainty goes, no, I'm just not seeing it. Oops. Ah! You can't even shoot it because your targeting reticule gets fucked. Sorry, I was just clearing my throat. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. I have to admit, it's not really a shitty thing. I thought he'd done a shitty thing, but from what I can tell, Chris... I don't think Chris has done much that's shitty lately. I mean, there are one or two things. A lot of people don't believe some of the things that Chris has done, because they seem to be delusional enough to believe that Chris won't go to some of these places. My favourite of which was, basically Chris made a video called Opening Up, where he talked about his, quote-unquote, experiences with, you know, over his tenure about with James and all that, and how he was a poor victim who has always been set upon by gosh dang internet trolls his whole life and shit. And it's full of bollocks, basically, but there's a kernel of truth to some of the things he says. But what's kind of interesting is that there was this one guy who was just kind of interested and quite, impartial, who decided that he was going to take that video and basically dissect it and figure out if what Chris was saying was the truth or not in every situation. Now, what's interesting about that is that this guy, bear in mind, did it from a non-biased perspective and actually cleared up a fair few things that a lot of Chris's critics and detractors got wrong at the time. He found evidence that he didn't know existed and stuff like that, they didn't know existed and stuff like that. So if anything, this video existing really helped Chris. Chris flagged the video for using his quote-unquote copyrighted content. He didn't use any copyrighted content. And basically not only put the channel in bad standing, but got this impartial video taken off the internet because it used Quissy Wiss's content, and he didn't like that because only he can steal people's content without crediting him for it, like in his Power Rangers review. But yeah, Chris doesn't really like it when people use his content, but he's more than happy to rip content for his Power Rangers review. I find the hypocrisy in that very funny. Chris is also very, very willing to basically shit all over public figures and whatever else. But the second that he's exposed or attacked as a public figure, he basically plays the victim. There was a very funny incident with Chris, where basically he made this series called A History of Video Games or some shit like that. And basically, in this series, he basically was going to go from the Magnavox Odyssey all the way up to basically modern systems. Now, it was a series that died because Chris barely did any of the work, and when he did do the work, it was fucking atrocious. But his Odyssey review was so fucking bad that this guy, the guy who invented the thing, actually came out of the woodwork. Nobody's heard of him for like 20 years at this point. He came out of the woodwork just to say that Chris didn't know what he was talking about and called him an idiot. And he went... and basically publicly humiliated Chris by giving him a professional fuck you. And basically Chris was a little quiet about that one. But it's kind of gone down as like one of the most hilarious things in game criticism. A critic who fucked up so badly that someone basically who hasn't been heard from in fucking 30 years comes out of 20 or 30 years comes out of hiding just to say, Chris, you're a fucking idiot. I love you, Chris. And I do mean it in that way. Anyway, we're almost at the end of this. We've got one more Lums to do, and then we've just got to do Popalopoy, or Target. Such a boring name. And then that is the end of our little odyssey into the many variations of Rayman M. You know, thinking about it now, I'm probably not going to bother with the PAL version of Rayman Arena, which is Rayman M. Simply because it's the same fucking thing for all intent and purpose. There's like one or two minor differences, but those one or two minor differences were like, you've seen them in the Gamecube version, which in my opinion is the most interesting version. Followed by this, followed by the NTSC version, which kind of disappointed me. On the PS2, I mean they're all NTSC except for this, which is the PAL copy of Rayman Rush. As far as I'm aware, the PAL copy of Rayman... the NTSC copy of Rayman... the NTSC copy of Rayman Rush is not going to be much different to the other copies of Rayman Rush, because I do not think anyone gave that much of a shit. Please, by all means, if anyone wants to correct me, feel free. But I am a firm believer... Well, that's pointless. They don't even have multiple surfaces in this one. Oh my god, you fucking knob. I just realised it doesn't tell you your position in the race. I mean, I know you can figure that out by looking on the radar thing, but it's kind of an interesting thing to lack in a racing game. It just shows you where you are on the radar, but, well... I suppose you haven't got any maps like Treasure Ship, where you can sort of overlap each other and stuff, so I guess that makes sense. I don't think it's possible to overlap in this one at all. I don't know who the hell thought up the idea of robot pirates, but that is like the coolest concept for an enemy in a game. Like, not just a robot pirate, but an entire fucking legion of robot pirates is a pretty cool idea to me. I like as well how legitimately vicious and evil Razorbeard is in most descriptions. I don't know. I mean, some of these were a bit unreliable, but I read one thing that said that he built himself, which I don't know if that's true, but that's pretty cool. Like he basically came from hate and decided to just build himself a body so that he could exact that hate on the world. That's pretty fucking cool, not gonna lie. So this has been a pretty cool experience for me. I don't know about anyone else, but I personally have loved going through all these Rayman games, even the ones that drove me fucking insane. I might see the difference between 2 and Revolution, but from, again, kind of like Arena and M, I mean, there are differences, admittedly, but the differences are very, very light. Ugh. So we're out of Lums at least, now I've just got to win the race. Well, it shouldn't be too hard. It's weird, a lot of people I knew who like were born after it, or grew up with one or the other, were unaware that this came after Rayman M, like a year after it. A lot of people thought that Rayman M like came after at one point. Oh, he also has Henchman 800's win animation. That's kind of interesting. Okay, I'm gonna get some snack.
Wat je nou keurig hebt,